And you can bring your hands to your lap. So your hands can come palm down or palm up. And just starting to find your breath, just starting to kind of settle in, ground yourself into the earth underneath you. And then starting to find your breath while you're here, just noticing what it feels like this evening to breathe. Maybe noticing what happens when you breathe in through the nose. Can you feel the cool air as it comes in across your upper lip, across the inside of your nostrils? And then noticing as you exhale that air has warmed up a little bit. Maybe you just don't notice it. That's okay. But can you take a few rounds of breath, really focusing on the nose, like the tip of your nose, your nostrils, what it feels like to breathe in, what it feels like to breathe out. And then while you're here, while you're breathing, can you start to find your sits bones? Can you start to move around just a little and find where the base of the pelvis roots into the earth? And you might notice you need a little bit of a tilt forward, a little anterior tilt. The top of the pelvis comes forward so that the sits bones kind of drop down towards the earth. And then once you've done that, you might come forward with the upper body a little. Can you draw the sternum, the center of the chest, straight back? So you still have a little arch in the low back. You're still rooting down through the sits bones, but now the shoulders start to stack so that they're over the hips instead of in front of the hips. Just kind of noticing what happens there. Maybe you even let the upper body come forward just a little bit. And then you let the shoulders and the sternum, the center of the chest, slide back and feel the difference in the body, in your posture. Maybe you notice a difference in the musculature and what is required of you. And then come back to the breath. Inhaling in through the nose and exhaling through the nose. Doing that a few more times. And then on the next inhale, while the shoulders are stacked over the hips, can you allow the center of the throat to press back? Can you take the center of your head, the center of the back of the skull, and press it back? Maybe even put a hand there so that you have something to push up against. And you press the head into the hand until the muscles on the neck just start to turn on. So they're the muscles that attach down into the torso, really. So it might be the top of the shoulders. You start to feel when you press the center of the throat back, the center of the skull back. Can you come back to the breath here? And stacking ourselves in a way that we allow energy to flow through the body. And can you take a moment here and just draw to mind something that maybe has been hard for you to communicate, something that maybe feels stuck, like in your throat, like you can't get out the thing that you want to say. Maybe it's You're not sure what it is, but it's something. Maybe you are sure, but you're not sure how to say it. And just bringing that experience to mind for a moment. And then drawing your attention to your throat, to the center of your throat. And you can imagine that um, you have your hand wrapped around the front of your throat. You don't have to put it there, but that area just across the front of the throat is the area that we're thinking about when we say the throat. This whole column here. And so as you press that part back and the center of the skull goes back, can you just bring your awareness to your throat? And can you just call to mind or think about something that you think, if you were to nurture someone else in your life, what would that nurturance feel like on the receiving end? Would it feel like, would it be warm? Would it be gentle? Would it be full of light? And can you bring that experience just to the front of your throat for a moment? Maybe it is literally the experience or the emotion of love. What it's like to be nurtured or to nurture someone else. A warm, fuzzy blanket or something like that. You take that experience and just hang on to what it feels like to be nurtured in an area that maybe is not your strongest area. Maybe it is for you, but maybe it's not. The judgment is not necessary. We all have things that we kind of hang on to, whether they're ours or they belong to somebody else. Can you just take a moment at the start of practice and keep bringing to mind anytime we move through our practice today where you're feeling maybe a little bit stuck or unsure if you are able to do it. Can you just simply remember that experience, that nurturance, and draw that into yourself and allow yourself to just simply breathe? From this place, when you're ready to, you can bring your fingertips down to the earth. We'll draw the shoulders up by the ears and press the shoulders straight back. And as the shoulders start to come down, maybe the fingertips will touch the earth and then press down to the fingertips so the chest lifts a little bit more. Starting to activate the arms just a little here. And can you squeeze in and just kind of tone through the abdominal walls, supporting your organs as we let the left fingertips crawl towards the left as the right hand comes straight to the sky. So as you reach this right hand straight to the sky, grow taller here. Get long, like you're trying to reach up on that top shelf to get something. It was a cookbook for me yesterday. I couldn't quite reach it, but can you reach and get long through the right side body? And then instead of just collapsing down, imagine that you actually are reaching. So the left side has to get a little longer too. And then the left fingertips maybe crawl over just a bit. And then really take a moment here and focus on the external rotation of the arm. So the tricep, this back of the arm muscle, really starts to rotate forward as the bicep, this inner muscle, starts to roll back. And can you reach a little bit more and squeeze the arm in towards the head a little bit more? Starting to turn on the muscles underneath the armpit. Maybe looking away and down at that left hand allows the right arm to get a little taller. Releasing back through center. Just take a moment and notice the difference between your right and your left. You might notice a little bit more flow of energy in one over the other. And we'll start to let the right fingertips crawl out as the left arm comes straight to the sky. So I always do this where I'm like, I'm externally rotated, but can I externally rotate a little bit more? Yes, I can. I can take my tricep, I can wrap it forward a little more. My bicep rolls back a little bit more, out and away. So we're moving in a circular motion here. And then reach the arm to the sky. Keep hugging in here. Sometimes when we reach away, we start to internally rotate. We start to let the biceps spin back in towards the face. Keep rolling it back. Keep reaching to the sky, and then let the right fingertips start to crawl away. Pulling in through the belly, kind of squeezing in, just allows for a little bit more support through the spine. And we'll slowly come back through center. This time, turn both palms out and up. So externally rotating here. Inhale, sweep the arms to the sky. Exhale, bring the palms together and let the hands slide down to the heart. Each time the hands slide down to the heart, let the thumb come into contact with the sternum, the breastbone, right where the heart chakra is. And then the arms will come out and up once again as we inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, hands come down through heart center. Just taking a pause here. Inhale, hands out and up, reach. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, reach. Exhale, we're going to twist to the left. So right hand comes to the left knee, left hand comes back behind. And just take a pause here. Press down through the fingertips that are behind you. Draw the belly in and up. And just start to spin the rib cage. Don't worry about getting too far. And then slowly coming back through center. Release the hands down. Inhale. The arms come up. And exhale as we spin to the right. Left hand comes across the knee. This is just for support. So not for torquing, not for grabbing on and pulling yourself around. More like pressing down. Holding the belly in and up. Rotating through the rib cage. Starting to spin the ribs a little bit more to the right. And slowly releasing back through center. We're going to start, we're going to grab onto the strap here. This is my all-time favorite exercise. I'm going to take this strap. This is the rehab I did on my shoulder. So we'll take this strap across the palm of the hands and bring it to just wider than the shoulders. So this would be directly in front of my shoulders. I'm going to bring it just wider than my shoulders. Then we're going to grab onto the strap. And then draw the shoulders up by the ears, hug the shoulders straight back, and then let them start to slide down the back. With this pulling back of the shoulder heads, I want you to pull the strap apart so there's tension on the strap. And I want you to press away with the arms. So not extending the arms out, but starting to engage the tricep muscles, the muscles on the back of the arms. So once you're here right now, like you should have the muscles on your back, the muscles on your chest, front and back of the arm should all be turned on. And then we're going to play this lovely little game of tug of war. So first we're going to let the right side win. So the right's going to pull and the left will come along with it for the ride, but I'm still resisting. And then we come back through center because the left pulls and left wins a little. Right comes with it. Center. Over to the right. Center. Over to the left. We'll do one more each side. Center, and to the left. Center, and then releasing it down. We'll grab onto the strap here. This time we're going to draw the strap. We're going to do this sitting. We'll do it again a little bit later. We're going to draw the strap apart, so a little bit wider than the shoulders. This you're going to adjust as you go. So reach to the sky. And then pull the strap apart. And as you reach to the sky and pull the strap apart, we're going to bring it down in front of us. Keep pulling, 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 pulling apart. And then up and over. So we're going to come up. You're going to get here and you're going to go, my arms don't go over. So you can widen your hands on the strap. We're not dropping to one side. Keep them straight, reaching away. And let the hands come back behind. And if the hands need to slide on the strap, that's okay. Maintain the tension as you bring the strap behind you. Take a breath here with the chest lifted and open. And then keep pulling as you come back up and through. There's going to be a spot where you're like, ooh, that's tight. That's the spot that should be like at your limit with the strap. Do 2 more up and over. So coming up and over, keep pulling apart, keep reaching away. Take a pause here. And then back up and through. What we tend to want to do, like I said, when our shoulders start to get tired, when it gets a little bit more challenging, inhale as we come up, is we tend to start to want to like bop to one side and let the side that has a little bit more space take the brunt of the stretch. Keep reaching away. This is where we tend to like do this thing. Keep reaching away, reaching away. And I release the strap down. Bring the arms out in front of us, palms straight, palms to the sky. So biceps are rolled in up towards the sky, triceps are coming down. And then see if you can squeeze your arms together. Can you get your elbows to squeeze together and the pinky side edge of your hand to squeeze together? Let's just take 3 breaths here. Down dog's gonna feel like a whole new experience after this. Releasing when you're ready to. We're gonna come over to all fours. I love that they say potential spam. I've been getting calls from the governor. Coming onto our hands and knees, we'll just take a pause here. Stacking the hips over the knees, the shoulders over the wrists. And then inhale as the belly drops down, the tail lifts, the heart comes forward. And then press into the hands as you exhale and round. A few more rounds of breath here. Inhale, arch. Anterior tilt. And exhale, round. Inhale, arch. And exhale. Inhale, come back to table. Take a pause here. Curl the toes under. Press down into the pads of the finger, down into the knuckles. Grip the earth a lot, and then send the hips up and back for a down dog. So take a moment here, just kind of focus on the back of your legs for a breath or two. Pedaling out, bending one knee and then the other. And then once your calves, the lower legs, the feet have woken up a little, you can go back to gripping into the earth. Pushing down into the hands, getting a little bit longer through the spine. Inhale here as we look forward. Exhale as we walk the feet to the front of the mat. Take a moment here. Open the feet to a little wider than hip width distance. We'll let the hips sway just a bit from side to side. And then in this place, you can come back to center, press straight down through the heels. Pull the heels isometrically apart. So start to pull the heels apart like you're trying to rip a hole in the mat. Press down through the big toe mound. And then find a little anterior tilt. So lift the butt towards the sky a little. Maybe the hands come to the shins, maybe to the thighs. Get a little longer through the spine. Draw the belly in and up. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Lift the chest and look forward. And then exhale as you fold forward. Root down into the feet, bend the knees, and come all the way to stand. So your palms face forward, hands come down by your side. Let the shoulders rise up, and then let them come back, open across the chest. And let's come back to the neck for a moment. So press the head back maybe into the hand, turning on those muscles on the upper back, the back of the neck. Inhale, sweep the arms to the sky. Exhale as you fold forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step the left foot back. Left knee comes down here, so if you need a little padding, you can certainly grab a blanket or something. Let the left hand come off of the side of the mat. So maybe to your fingertips, tented, or maybe to the palm of your hand. We'll reach the right arm forward, getting long through the right side, and then slowly start to spin the belly button in towards the right inner leg. So taking a spine twist here, maybe it's super open, maybe it's a little bit open. Slowly coming back through center. Plant the hands down. Lift the back knee, step back to plank. Let the knees come down in hips to heels, child's pose. Take one more rounded breath here. Inhale to all fours. Arch and look up. Exhale, up and back, down, dog. Inhale, reach the left leg back behind. Exhale as you hug the left knee in, step the left foot through. Right knee comes down here. As the right knee comes down, can you isometrically hug? So can you drag the back knee towards the front heel without actually moving? Turn the inner legs on just a little bit. Press down through the front heel and climb the hands up to the knee. So just take a moment here, pressing down firmly into that front heel and then scissoring the legs together. Belly draws in and up, and then press the head back into the hand. Get a little lift here through the upper body, get a little engagement through the back of the neck. And then slowly releasing back down. Hands come to frame the feet. We'll lift the back knee, inhale. Exhale as we step it forward. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Keep the left foot where it is. Step the right foot back here. Right knee comes down. Right hand comes off the side of the mat. Left arm reaches forward. Imagine you're being pulled forward here. And then slowly start to spin belly button towards the inner left thigh. And how close you are to the front leg or how far away you are doesn't really matter. We're just starting to warm up the spine. Turn on the body a little bit. And slowly coming back through center. Plant the hands down. Step it back, plank. Knees down, child's pose. Inhale, all fours. And exhale, down dog. Reach the right leg back here as you inhale. And then hug the right knee in and step the right foot through. Left knee comes down here. So again, we engage the legs. So press straight down into the front heel. Pull the back knee in towards the front heel. Turn the legs on. Keep pressing down and climb the hands up to the front knee. As you're here, hugging in, you might start to sink forward, but continue to hug in. Remember, lengthen the muscles as you're stretching, as you're engaging, lengthen. That's where you get your mobility from. And then press the head back into the hand, turning on the muscles in the back of the neck once again. Slowly releasing back down. Stepping back to plank. Bring the knees down and come all the way down onto your belly. So let the hands come off the side of the mat here. Fingertips come down, shoulders rise up by the ears, and then squeeze towards the sky. Press down into the fingertips, into the tops of the feet, and see if you can start to find a baby cobra here. If you're feeling a little bit more mobile, you want to press into the hands a little bit more, lift a little bit more, that's fine. Just be aware of drawing the rib cage away from the pelvis, getting long, and then slowly release back down. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. We'll press back to table. Curl the toes under and up and back to down dog. Inhale here, reach the right leg back behind. As you hug the right knee through, take a pause, then step the right foot through. This time, open your feet really wide on the mat. So the right foot is on the right edge, left foot is on the left edge. And bring the left hand directly underneath the shoulder. Right hand comes to the right knee. Pull the belly in, and then press the right knee out as you start to open your spine up a little. So we're here and so drawing the chest towards the top edge of your mat, coming this way if I was on my mat over here. And maybe taking that top hand, bringing it back behind the head, pressing the head back into the hand. And slowly coming back through. Plant the hands down, step back, down dog. Come forward to plank. Knees down, child's pose. Inhale as we come to all fours. And exhale up and back to down dog. So reach the left leg back. Hug the left knee through and step wide on your mat. You might have to bring the right foot out wider. You should feel pretty wide here from right to left, probably wider than your normal lunge stance. Right hand can come underneath the right shoulder. Left hand comes to the knee. Pull the belly in and up and start to spin first towards the inner left thigh. And then as you start to press the head back, you start to lift the chest open towards the top edge of the mat. Bring the hand back. And slowly coming back. Center, plant the hands down. This time we'll step it forward. So leave the left foot where it is. Step the right foot wide. Bend the knees and find a little Malasana squat here. So bringing the elbows inside the knees, pressing into the knees, and then hugging back, turning on the inner leg line. Lifting a little bit more through the chest. And then releasing the hands down, lifting the hips, turning the toes back forward if they were turned out. You can add in a little movement from side to side. From this place, we'll inhale as we lengthen to a flat back, bend the knees. Step the left foot straight back. So coming into that, what would be a high lunge position, we'll drop the back heel, press down, and rise up to warrior two. So pressing straight down through the front heel, pulling the legs towards each other, right? Finding the strength and stability in the lower body. And then let's move from the back of the head. So this is an interesting place. We'll bring the hands to the hips, or you can bring one hand back behind your head. Press the head back into the hand, turn those muscles on once again. And then instead of just spinning the chin towards the right knee, can you take the back of the head and move it towards the back foot? That would be your left foot. So moving from the back body. So you're engaging the muscles, you're pressing back and turning from that space. Once the gaze comes out over that right knee, the arms can come out. Can you keep pressing the head back in space? And then inhale, we'll straighten the front leg. Turn all 10 toes towards the long edge of the mat. In this place here, reaching out with the arms. Again, pressing back through the head, turning on the muscles on the back of the throat. And then we'll turn the left toes to the left, bending that left knee. So just finding the warrior two stance on the left side. Or straight down into the heel, hug in through the legs. And then from here again, press the head back so that the back of the skull stacks over the back body. And then slowly start to turn from the muscles on the back of the neck so that the gaze comes out over the left hand. Releasing again those front toes, all 10 toes turn towards the long edge of the mat. We'll reach the arms to the sky as we inhale. Bend the knees, send the butt back like anterior tilt and take a fold forward. So when you get here, instead of pressing through the back of the head, can you first press through the back of the head, turn the upper back muscles on, and then can you just let the head release so the top of the head is released towards the earth? Maybe reaching the hands or crawling the hands back between the legs. Something fun you can do here if you want is to engage the quadriceps, the front of the legs, the front thighs by pulling the knee up, just kind of like flexing that muscle. See what happens to the hamstrings. And slowly bringing the hands back out underneath the chest. We'll inhale as we lengthen to a flat back, bend the knees, and then come all the way up to stand. We'll come to stand at the top of the mat. We'll grab our strap one more time, or again, maybe not just one more time, but we'll take the strap in the right hand and bring the right hand up to, reach the right hand up to the sky. Bring the left hand back behind. So the left hand internally rotates, back of the hand comes up the back, and you're gonna reach towards finding the strap. And then hugging that right elbow in, start to draw the hand towards the right hand towards the left hand. So even if you normally have a bind here, unless you have a really great bind that you can bind and pull your hands apart, I want you to reach the right arm, elbow towards the sky as you pull down with the left. Hug the left shoulder back. Keep reaching the right shoulder towards the sky and pull the strap apart. And then press the head back into wherever the hand or the arm is. Oh, and while we're here, press down through the heels, pull the heels apart, bend the knees, and find your chair pose. Turning on the lower body, draw the belly in. Inhale, get longer here, stay holding onto the arms the way they are, and then take a fold forward. If your bottom hand needs to slide down the strap, that's okay. But can you fold here in this position? And slowly releasing the top hand, hold onto the strap of the bottom hand, releasing both arms down towards the mat. You can grab elbow to elbow here. And then releasing that, grabbing onto the strap with the left hand, slowly rising back up. So we bend the knees, come up to stand. Left arm reaches to the sky. Right hand comes back behind. So we internally rotate. So palm spins back, hand comes back behind. And you find that strap wherever it's hanging. And as you find the strap, you bend the left arm, hug the elbow in by the head, and start to crawl the hands together. So most likely the bottom hand will crawl up some, and then pull apart on the strap. And as you pull apart on the strap, can you press the back of the right hand into your back and hug the elbow back? And then press down into the heels, pull them isometrically apart, bend the knees, to find even a little baby chair, just turning on the low body here. Press the head back into the arm, turning on the muscles on the back of the throat, the back of the neck, the upper back. And then maintaining this position with the upper body. You can slowly let go of chair pose, take a fold forward. And then slowly releasing the strap with both hands release towards the earth. Maybe grabbing elbow to elbow once again, getting a little bit longer. And plant the hands down in front of us and step back here to down dog. Inhale, reach the right leg back. Exhale, hug the knee in. We're going to come into pigeon, so we'll bring the shin across the mat. Once the right foot is where it's going, you can curl the back toes under, press down through the front foot, lift the knee if you'd like, wiggle back. And then once you're here, find that isometric contraction. So find that dragging the back knee in towards the front knee. Can you bring the hands, one to the foot and one to the knee, and press down? Maybe you even can reach the arms to the sky or grab elbow to elbow. Maybe pressing the head back into the hands, turning on the back of the throat once again. Maybe squeezing the shoulder blades together. And then slowly releasing, coming to wherever you'd like to be in your pigeon. So if you'd like to be more upright, you can. If you'd like to take a fold, go for it. We'll take one more breath here. Letting the hands come underneath the shoulders. We'll press down, step back to down dog, and just notice when you pedal out one and then the other, what happens. And then reaching the left leg back behind, hugging the left knee in, bringing the shin across the mat. And just recognizing once again that the two sides might be very different. That's okay. So once the foot is down, press down into the hands. We wiggle back. The front foot stays where it is. Everything else, you can kind of wiggle backwards. Karate chop that pinky side edge of the front foot. And then hug in with that back leg, just like we did in our lunge or in our twist. And again, you might rise up here. You might hands behind the head. You might reach the arms to the sky. And then once you're ready to, kind of settling in to wherever you would like to be in this pose today. you're ready to do so, the hands can come underneath the shoulders. And we'll swing around onto that front hip. Swing the back leg around. So we're going to come down onto our back. So have the strap nearby so that you can reach it. And then slowly lower all the way down onto your back. And just take a moment once you get here. And just like where we were at the start of class, where we let the sits bones sink down to the earth and then we stack the rest of the body, can you stack the body here in that same position? Can you find a little bit of anterior tilt through the low back? Right? Can you let the top of the pelvis tilt forward just a little? Turning on the muscles on the low back, just starting to squeeze those on just a bit. And then can you allow the shoulders, the front of the shoulders, to sink towards the earth? Maybe you squeeze the shoulder blades together just a bit. Maybe you take the strength of the back of the shoulders and you hug them down. And then taking the center of the back of the head and pressing it down into your yoga mat until you feel those same muscles turn on again. And then once you've done that, you can let go of the pressing down if you'd like. We're going to grab onto our strap. We'll keep the right foot where it is and draw the left knee in towards the chest. Giving yourself a little squeeze. We'll bring the strap high on the ball of the foot. So loop the strap around the foot, bring it high up towards the ball, high on the arch of the foot, high up towards the ball of the foot. And start with a bent knee. Pull the knee in. Maybe use both hands, one on each end of the tail of the strap. And then as you pull down with your arms, can you resist by kicking back through the heel? Now the leg is gonna win eventually because the leg is stronger, but can you take your time turning on the back of the leg? Can you press through the heel? And as if you're trying to bend your knee and kick your foot in towards your butt, can you get the back of your leg here and your gluteal muscles to turn on? So nothing major, not doing deadlifts or squats, just starting to turn them on just a little bit. And then once you've got them turned on, maybe you can switch the strap, the tails of the strap into one hand, that's fine. Keep pressing the heel towards the sky. And then as you're here, the back of the leg is engaged, maybe you start to pull just a little bit with the arm. Not so much that you're injuring yourself. You want to keep those muscles turned on and feeling safe. And then maybe extend that right leg long. If you happen to kick a piece of furniture, cool, you can press down into the heel or wall. You can press down into the, press through the heel of that right foot and press through the heel of the left foot. So both legs are turned on, both legs are active. And then on the next inhale, you can bring the right foot flat to the ground. Draw the left knee in once again. So take the strap off, bring your left foot into your left hand, and let the left knee spin out towards the left. So think about the rotation of the thigh bone here. So the knee's spinning out to the side because the thigh bone's moving, and maybe the toes will spin directly out to, if I were 12 o'clock, what side what would that be? That would be 9 o'clock, right? Really? Can you let the left toes spin towards the left as the knee presses out to the left? And then maybe the knee will even move its way towards the ground. That's cool. You might stay here, keep pressing into that right heel as well. And that might be, you might be like, that feels great. Or maybe you kick the left heel straight in towards the buttocks, point the toes, and maybe the foot will slide across the thigh. If your foot collides with the thigh, then keep working this external rotation. Just a little half happy baby action here. But if it comes across, cool. Can you hook and hold? And slowly releasing back through center. Left foot comes down, right knee hugs in. Give yourself a little squeeze. Put the strap on the bottom of the foot, high on the arch. And then start from the knee being bent. Start to keep the heel towards the sky, turning the legs on, resisting with the hand. Back of the leg gets turned on here. Heel pushes up, gluteal muscles get turned on. And then I extend the left leg long, turning the left leg on as well. Start to draw, strap in a little bit. Definitely less mobile on this side. Let's see, if I pull too hard on that right leg, the left leg lifts. And that's okay. That's why I'm turning on the left leg. I'm trying to root the left leg down by turning it on and kicking the back of the heel into the earth. And I'm releasing, let the left foot come down. Let the right knee come in. Right knee swings to the side, grab onto that right foot. And so a half happy baby here might be exactly where you want to stay. That's cool. Or you can start to let the knee swing out to the side again, so the toes turn to 3 o'clock, right? So the heel, my heel will be pointing over towards you. My toes are pointing away from the camera. And I might press until my right knee comes onto the ground. And if I pop, my left hip pops up a bunch, that's okay. That's why I press back down through the left heel, turning on those gluteal muscles, helping to make a little bit more space. And again, keep swinging the knee out to the side, keep engaging those outer hip muscles if that's where you are, awesome. Or maybe you kick the heel in towards the glute, turn on the hamstrings. Sometimes you have to move your calf out of the way. Point the toes and maybe the foot will come across. This is just a half lotus position. There's nothing like, oh, I'm so amazing because I got into half lotus position. It's more just, can you get the external rotation of the thigh bone? Can you get the strength in the hamstrings enough that you can pull the heel in towards the butt? And then you point the toes and the foot will come across. And if you're still not there, if you have a knee injury, then no worries. Just keep working this. Keep working the half happy baby. Keep strengthening the hips. Keep opening the hips. And slowly releasing back through center. Let's bring both feet down onto the mat. Walk the feet in as close as you can to your sits bones. And then press down into the heels a little bit as we find that anterior tilt through the pelvis, that little bit of low back activation. And then press down into the inner heels, press down into the big toe mounds until you let the weight lift up off of the hips. So the back of the pelvis is up enough that there's no weight on the back of the pelvis. So turn the low back on again. So find that little anterior tilt again. Low back muscles are turned on because you have a little arch in the low back. And then press through the inner heel, the big toe mound, and lift the hips about an inch or so. But maintain that arch in the low back. As you press down through the inner heel and the big toe, can you hug the knees in towards each other so the inner leg line turns on? Make sure the low back stays turned on. So as you lift, maybe one final time, one final lift, can you keep the low back muscles engaged? And if you have the space to do so, you might roll, squeeze the shoulder blades together, roll out to the outside of the arms. You might bring the hands underneath you and interlace them. It doesn't work for my shoulder that dislocates, so I choose not to do it. So honor your body and what works, but keep pressing through the big toes, the inner heel, hugging the knees towards each other. Keep engaged in the low back, so the butt is down a little bit. Fine. And then if the hands are interlaced, you can move the hands out, move the shoulders out. And slowly lowering the hips back down. Maintain the low back arch until the back of the pelvis is on the earth. And then windshield washer the knees a bit from side to side. And we'll take a little spine twist as well here. So when you're ready to, you can press down to both feet, scoot the hips 3 or 4 inches over to the right, and then let both knees drop towards the left. So they might be stacked or staggered. Whatever is going to work for your body is fine. Breathing into the right side body here. And then if you have the room to do so, taking the right arm and reaching it diagonally away from the body. So instead of straight out from the shoulder, can you reach it? I'm taking the top edge of my mat over here and reaching in that diagonal corner. I'm actually going to externally rotate so the tricep now reaches to the sky. The bicep rolls down towards the earth, and I'm going to crawl the fingers away a little bit more. Create a little bit more space underneath the armpit. And slowly releasing back through center here. Resetting the pelvis, so coming back to center. And then lifting the hips 3 or 4 inches over to the left. And then let both knees drop towards the right, again, staggered or stacked. And then once you're ready to do so, you can reach the left arm to the left or diagonally out. And again, finding a little external rotation because now we're going up. So we're going to externally rotate, reach away. And slowly releasing back through center. And as you come back to center here, we can let the soles of the feet come together, let the knees drop out. And then we'll open our arms into a field goal position. So arms could come straight out from the shoulders, and then we bend the elbows to a 90 degree. The fingernail side of the hands comes to rest on the earth. And then before we take our complete rest, can we press the elbows down into the earth until the back of the shoulder heads, the posterior deltoids, turn on? And when you press the elbows down, the back of the shoulders turn on. Can you also squeeze the shoulder blades together? Not violently, not like you're trying to break a pencil between them, but just so that the chest starts to lift a little. Just so you go, oh yeah, I do have some muscles there that are turned on. That's cool. And right now you might be feeling with those shoulder blades squeezing together, the elbows pressing down, maybe you press the fingernails down into the earth. You might start to feel like the muscles on the front of the throat pull. That's because you probably usually have a forward head position. So we'll turn on the muscles in the back of the throat once again by pressing the center of the head down, letting the middle of the throat release down towards the earth. I'll take 3 breaths here. And letting go of any of the squeezing you might be experiencing. If you'd like to do so, extending the legs long. And sometimes after doing shoulder work, I actually like to Shavasana with the arms back like this. You could do that if you like, or you can move them into whatever other position is comfortable for you or you have room for. And just taking a moment here and calling to mind once again the feeling of being taken care of, being nurtured and supported in exactly the way that you would want to be supported. And allow the bones to become heavy, the skull to become heavy, the torso and the limbs heavy. Begin to draw some awareness back to your breath. Deepening the inhalation and the exhalation. Drawing some awareness back to your body. Feeling the earth underneath you, the air around you. Adding in some movements when you're ready. Allowing those movements to eventually bring you to a seated position. Bringing the hands into the heart. Maybe you're reminded by today's practice that anytime you feel stuck, at a loss for words, or unsure of yourself, come back to that nurturance, that love, and that comfort that you so readily deserve. And hold that in your heart and allow that to be what clears away anything that's stuck. Namaste.